Hello and welcome to the Clever Channel. I am Jason, your host, and we're just going to head out into town, I believe. Yeah, we'll go to the town. We'll go through the bar and then we'll go to the town. In fact, I'll go a different way. Yeah, I think I'll go a different way. I think I'll go to Tesco. So I've just been to the doctors for the blood tests to check about the markers in case it is cancer. I've also received a message saying they're going to be sending me a sending me for an appointment at the hospital to see a urologist to see about how check it all out and see if it is cancer, and it's just the way it is. I have to deal with these problems. So this has been my thing this morning of what to do. I'm researching upgrading my Quingo, as in actually getting rid of the Quingo and replacing it with a different mobility scooter at the end of this year. Because when I think about it, I don't need that much more computer stuff. I've got backups, I've got computers, and I've got bits and pieces. I have enough. I think that's a weird thing for me to say. I have enough computer systems. And the whole point is, what's the thing that most improves my independence as a disabled people? Being able to leave the house. If I was going to invest in something really important, then a longer distance, a more improved mobility scooter. Now, this mobility scooter stays because this mobility scooter is let's go around this car over here. Oh, it's bright sunlight today. The Quingo is amazing. There's places it can't go, and those places are fulfilled mainly by this vehicle here. This can be taken apart, it can go into a car, it can go here. But there's the intermediate, how far can I go on my own? And I don't need to be able to go to the other side of the country. I don't need to go hundreds of miles because that would take me too far away from home on my own. But being able to go out to around 60 miles or increasing my outward going range by about 30 miles, that would be nice. Now the Quingo can do that. But it has limitations, the Quingo does, even though I love it. The canopy it's got, the front screen, if the sun's out, you are basically, hits it, you are absolutely blinded. It doesn't have the best lighting for at night. It's got good running lights, but the main light that it uses to actually light in front of your vehicle is not the best. It is one of the best ones out there, and I love it, no doubt about that. But there is another option. It is expensive. It would take a large chunk of the money that comes from changing to having the equity release mortgage at the end of the year. But it would mean that, well, it's actually an enclosed scooter. It's more like a car. It's still the same kind of thing that we have here. The limitations that I have. Probably wondering why I'm talking so slow at night. It's just my brain is very exhausted after having to go to the doctors. It's always a major thing, even when I'm on my mobility scooter. So my brain's sort of half and half at the moment. So this new scooter is pretty much top of the range of fully enclosed. It is meant for all weathers. It has a full glass windshield, so it won't have the issues that the Quingo has. And I would still keep the Pride Revo for going to the shops and that. But I would be able to go much further. I'd be able to go on the road more because it has really high visibility lights. And it is built to do those things. So it's a consideration. I've still got a month, 2 months before I make any decision. But I am doing what I would normally do, a deep dive into the options. The thing is, one of the reasons that this came about was because at the end of the year, part of the money would go towards servicing the Quingo. It probably needs new batteries. It needs a new canopy cover because the other ones become scratched and damaged. It needs a new hydraulic piston for the main steering column. None of these problems are things that actually affect its usability, but if I can fix them and get them thingied, but I could just sell the Quingo and get one of these scooters instead. It is once again a class 3 vehicle. It's fully certified for going on the road. It will be very much a luxury item, but also a necessity, because we've seen just how amazing it is for me to be able to leave the house. And having it more enclosed for long journeys would actually be a major improvement. So yeah, of course, just like everything else, I will do videos on it and explain the improvements and do deep dive on the vehicle and that when I get it. But yeah, that is an option, because I've been looking at my computer stuff and how well it runs, and I've been looking at it from the perspective of, what if something breaks? Well, I've got backups for everything. I've got backups for the graphics cards, I've got backups for the actual computer, I've got backups for the storage, and I wouldn't be buying anything that was actually make my life specifically better. I would be buying something that just as a backup and spending the money on those kind of things. But if I spend the money on actually an upgrade to my actual transport and ability to leave, then yeah. You see, I know that I thought about having a power chair. The problem is, I don't know how well I would cope with being in a public transport situation. The thought basically terrifies me. If I was on a power chair and I was on a train going somewhere, or on a bus going somewhere, how would I deal with the interactions of so many people around me that I don't know? How bad will that affect me? I have to think about these things. That's a lot of cars. I'll go now because no one else is coming. Even if I was to buy a brand new Pride Revo to replace this one, because this one has some water damage and was bought second hand, and the batteries don't last as long as they normally would for this vehicle. I would still have enough to be able to buy the new mobility scooter. And I think it would be a good idea. You see, when I leave the house, when I go out, I have to make sure that there's not going to be too many people around. That isn't because I'm antisocial and that, it's just if I have to go past people, it affects my mental bandwidth. It exhausts me to be around people, especially strangers. About the only place my brain can actively, okayly, and even that can wear me out, is on VR. So, here we have it. I'm going to go into Tesco, pick up a few items. This is what this fried Revo is good for. It's got a little basket on the front, which is perfect for getting a few bits of food just to add. And this vehicle handles it absolutely fine. So, I'll stop the vloggy video once I get close to the place, because I'll just need a little. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm tired because I've been to the doctors. It does wear me out. I do have limits. Interaction with people is hard, very hard for me to interact with human beings. And that will never get better. I can do it with friends, I can thingy, but my brain does not cope with many people being around me. This is why I do the vlog, why I'm out doing this. So in a bit I will shut down all this and I will talk to you on the way home. I remember the last time I went to the doctor's surgery without a mobility scooter, and they almost had to call me an ambulance because I hyperventilated, I was having a panic attack, and I went catatonic in this. And that was just because I was in a room with people and I had to sit on a chair near people. So this is, when you hear me talking, when you see me on my stream and that, it's very hard to understand just how bad I am in a normal situation. Outside of my safe space now. So I will say bye-bye for now.